Brad A. Milford with the Unlimited Business Wisdom Podcast, where business owners share their wisdom. It's short and to the point because we respect people's time and because we know transforming possibility, when I can say it right, happens super fast and it leads to lasting results. So enough of that. Let's really get to this. Question number one. Tim, in a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
So, Brad, I'm a marketing coach, marketing consultant. So what I find is so many business owners are battling information overload. When it comes to marketing, they're just overwhelmed. So we help them simplify marketing so they can grow with less stress. And we do that by helping them create and implement a marketing plan to communicate the right message to the right people. Simple as that.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, it's as simple as that.
I absolutely love that. And I know personally it's so needed in the market. The overwhelm in the market with the complications of marketing is huge for so many people. So what a noble cause. And it doesn't have to be that complicated, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. So I love that. We'll dive in a little bit more here in just a moment. Question number two. Tim, what's the best thing about being in business, man?
For me, it's the freedom and the autonomy to make my own path. That's why I do it. It's what gets me out of bed every day.
Love you. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Give me more. You've been doing this for what,
it's
like
just
decades,
I don't do well working for other people. So I need to have that creative freedom to make my own path. And that's why I do it. I just can't. I love building things. And I feel like, I haven't worked for that many people in my life. So, but when I have, it's not a good fit.
Oh, I feel you. And everybody listening and watching this podcast totally feels you also. It was like, really? Work for someone else? I'm not sure I can do that anymore.
Yeah. What do they say? Like, as entrepreneurs, we're unemployable, right? Yeah, that's me.
After you run a company or two, it's really difficult going backwards, or I shouldn't say backwards, but going that other direction. So love it. Thank you for sharing. Question number three. This is one of my favorites. You're going to love this question, Tim. We hear from other business owners, they're getting so much business that sometimes the chaos causes overwhelm. Would you be willing to share your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. So I think all of us have been in that place at one point or another, whether it's too much business coming in or something else in our business. We all battle chaos and overwhelm at some point. I default to two things when I find myself in that place. One is planning. To me, planning is key to being effective. When you have a plan in place, even if it's a bad plan, it still outlines what your priorities are and it gives you clarity. And when you have those two things, it helps eliminate overwhelm. But the other thing too, even once you have a plan in place, I find it's really helpful for me to focus on the next measurable step, because depending on how vast the plan is, sometimes it can still be a little bit overwhelming. If we break things down into smaller steps, it eliminates that overwhelm. So I focus on that next measurable step, finish that, then what's next, and just keep going.
Love it. First you said planning, then you said the next measurable step. And yes, I'm just repeating you because I want to highlight what you said. The next measurable step. So powerful. Yet there are yes, I'm speaking to you. If you know I'm speaking to you. There's so few people out there that actually have KPIs and measurements, and they're not really checking those, and they don't have dashboards. And you speak my language, my friend. And if you need to hear this, then we're going to give you a way to reach out to Tim later too, because it's so important. And it makes things so much easier when you know your next measurable step. So thank you, Tim, for sharing that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Question number 4. What other successful business owners like yourself, Tim, should be on the Unlimited Wisdom podcast?
You should have on Katie Brinkley, who is from Next Step Social Communications. Super smart, helps business owners get their social handled, which I know can be a big burden for a lot of people. So she's somebody that's definitely worth talking to.
Huge. And I appreciate that connection as well, because I do know lots of people who just swirl and swirl and swirl on the social media and they never get to the next most measurable step. I love it. I totally dig it, Tim. Thank you. Let's get to the crux of this. Let's get to the center of this, the really important stuff. Question number 5. We're going to talk about some wisdom. What piece of wisdom would you share with other business owners based on your experience, Tim?
So I'm going to share my passion in the marketing realm, which is those the 3 key ingredients that I think lay the foundation for marketing success, which are the fundamentals. To me, there are 3 fundamentals when it comes to marketing: your target market, your message or what you say to that market, and then having a plan of how you're going to get that message in front of those people. So I'm going to do my best quickly to give your audience 3 actionable insights for each one of these elements. Okay.
Grab your pens. Grab your pens.
First, target market. You have to understand who you're going to serve and how you're going to serve those people within any given target market. Not everybody is ideal. We need to understand who our 1 to 3 ideal clients are within that market. We need to understand who we intend to attract, and we have to focus our marketing, because as small business owners, we don't have unlimited budgets. If you don't have an unlimited budget, you cannot target a broad audience. So you have to narrow it. The easiest way to hone in on your ideal clients is to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, who do we enjoy working with? 2, who are our most profitable clients? And by the way, sometimes your most profitable clients are not your clients that drive the most revenue. Super important. And 3, who do we do our best work for? If you ask yourself those 3 questions, you have a subgroup of current and past customers that you love working with, profitable, and you get great results for. That's the group that you start to look for commonalities to determine who your 1 to 3 ideal client types are out of that subgroup. Okay. So ask yourself those 3 questions. It is super powerful. Once you understand who you intend to work with, and you can enter the conversation that they're having in their head as it relates to what you do, then and only then can you create your marketing message. We use a storytelling framework for that, where you invite your customers into a story where they are the hero and you are the guide. Our customers are not looking for a hero, right? The hero in every story, they're lost, man. They don't know what the hell to do. They got a problem. They can't fix it. They meet a guide, and the guide says, I know exactly what you need to do because I used to be there. You need to do 1, 2, and 3, and that's going to help you get from where you currently are to where you want to be. So, and by the way, in the tools that we'll share here at the end, you'll have some resources for all these things that I'm digging into. But from a messaging standpoint, if you just remember one thing, be clear, not clever. Okay. When we try to get cute and clever, we end up confusing people. And when we confuse people, we lose them. Confused people do not buy. So err on the side of being clear with your messaging, no matter what you do. Okay. Once I have my message, now I need to have a plan. Okay. We use a 90-day marketing plan. Our businesses are evolving quickly. Our marketing needs to adapt and evolve with it. And when we create plans over 90 days, they become too complex, and complexity is the enemy of results. So we need to keep it simple. So one of the things I'll share with your audience in the resources is our 90-day marketing plan template. But one of the most common questions I get is, okay, great. I need to create a plan. Where do I even start? What do I focus on? How do I know what the next thing to focus on is? There's three elements I'll share here. 1, if you do not have the fundamentals that I just shared, your ideal clients and your messaging, you have to have those in place first. If you don't, you're going to waste time and you're going to waste money. Second thing, your website. Everything you do from a marketing standpoint drives people back to your website. Even if you're 100% referral business, I do not care. People are not automatically calling or emailing. If you get a referral, what are they doing? They're going online to look at your website. If your website looks like it's from 1995, they're not calling you. Okay. So your website has to be on, it has to be right. The third thing is we all have things in our business that are already working. We have no business jumping into other tactics, other channels until we have fully optimized what is already working. So look at what's already working in your business and work your way backwards. Start at the end and work your way backwards to see, do we have gaps that we need to fill? And can we do more of some of these steps in this process to get even more results? Maximize that first, then you can start to expand. That's my pitch.
I'm trying to take all that in. You just dropped a ton of zingers in there, like some really, really powerful stuff in a very short amount of time, and I mean that sincerely, Tim. Look, I've been on a lot of these, and you just dropped the exact steps that someone needs to drop in and really get optimized. And it's extremely powerful stuff. And so many, I hope this is you, if you're listening or watching, there's so many people they bypass it. And there's so much overwhelm in the market today where they're like, somebody's telling them, no, you got to do this. No, you got to do this. No, you got to do this. And you're sharing exactly how to get centered and how to get focused in order to optimize into that next most important measurable thing. And I absolutely love how you delivered that. Fantastic.
Cool. Happy to do it.
Aside from connecting with you, which I'll get to in a moment, what is one thing from your experience? You've been doing this for a while. You've been doing this for a long time, and you bring a vast experience. What is the most common thing you see people frazzled with, or what's the most frequent thing that a lot of your clients are struggling with, Tim?
They want to grow, and they're just not sure what that next step is. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. There's tons of marketing channels. Within those channels, there's all kinds of tactics, and there's no shortage of gurus, like you touched on, saying you need to do this or you need to do that. It's no wonder people get stuck. And I think the thing that is really important, a lot of marketing providers get very prescriptive, and they put people in a box. You need to create a marketing funnel, or you need to do a webinar, or you need to have a YouTube channel. Look, any tactic can work. The question is there's a few questions. One is what you put behind the tactic. It's what you've put behind the tactic, the fuel that makes it work or not. Well, the fuel are the fundamentals, your target market, your messaging. Super, super important. But you also have to look at, like, where do you want to go, and what resonates with you? I love doing video because it's huge leverage with video content. But gosh, if you hate video and I tell you, Brad, you got to do video, you're never going to do it well. So I'm doing you a total disservice. So when we look at creating plans, we create a holistic plan that takes everything into account: where you are, where you want to get to, what your budget is, what your resources, and what you like and what you're good at. Because any tactic can work. We just have to find the tactics that are best for you.
I especially love that you shared that. That's coming from you and not from me, because I do have vast experience with marketing plans, strategic plans, all that kind of stuff. And so I love hearing you say this. I really want to highlight and showcase what you're saying. A lot of people, there's a market out there that says, well, I don't need a plan. Okay. Then there's those people who have tried plans before, but they were canned plans basically, or just templates, and they hadn't worked with someone who was meeting them where they are. So that's optimized for them. So I absolutely love that you shared that and that you offer that service. So you can have the template, but if you work with someone who has expertise, they can meet you where you are and draw things to you that maybe you hadn't thought about, and share their expertise with you to make it really, really fundamental, and you can thrive. So I love that, Tim. Thank you.
Yep.
Now, I already know, Tim, that you and I can talk business all day, all day long, and probably through the evening. So let's shift gears for a moment. You dropped a lot of value, and I appreciate that. But I believe, and hopefully you do too, I suspect that you do, that we work to live and not live to work, right? So let's shift gears. What's the most fun vacation you've ever had?
My honeymoon. My wife and I went on a 10-day Mediterranean cruise. We started in Venice, went all the way around the boot of Italy, and we went to France, and we ended up in Barcelona. So it was an amazing trip.
You hit them all. That's great.
The great thing about being on a cruise is you get to see a little bit of a lot of places. If you want to really dig in and settle into the culture, it's probably not the best thing, but for us, we got to just be exposed to so many. I can't remember. I think we had 3 or 4 stops in Italy. We stopped in Croatia, a couple of stops in Greece, and then Nice and Barcelona. It was just every day we wake up and we'd be like, okay, where are we going to be today? So it was an awesome trip. Super fun.
I love that. It sounds amazing. I have been to Sicily and to the Boot and to Sardinia and to Nice and Mallorca and all these places, Barcelona, but never on I was in the Navy. I was on a different kind of boat, Tim.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same.
Your ship wasn't quite as luxurious, was it?
No. And my ship has sailed now. No, it's great. I love it. That sounds amazing. So good for you. Tim, thanks for being on. I appreciate the investment of your time because that's what this is. It's an investment to be able to serve people. I appreciate that. What's the website or social media? What's the most convenient and best place for someone when they see this and they hear this and they're like, holy cow, he hit me right where I need to be hit. How do they reach out to you?
Going to our website is the best place. It's rialtomarketing.com. So that's RIALTO marketing.com. The resources that I mentioned that are free for your listeners, there's no opt-in. There's all the tools we use right there. It's rialtomarketing.com and then /unlimited-business-wisdom. So if they go there, they can opt into that. If they're getting stuck, they need help on what that next measurable step is, just click the get a free consult button and I'll be happy to chat.
So let's make sure that that didn't escape anybody. So what just happened there, Tim? So say the link again.
So it is rialtomarketing.com /unlimited-business-wisdom. Free resources on that page. At the top of that page, there's a get a free consult button. If you get stuck and you need help, just click on the get a free consult button, schedule a call, and I'll be happy to chat with you.
Now, I want to let all the listeners and people watching know that was not pre-planned. This is how marketing, this is where people customize things and where marketing is really powerful. So he came to the podcast prepared with something customized for this podcast, for me, for us. So I really want to encourage you, go to his website and check that out. So great. Tim, that was spectacular. Well done. Well played. I dig it.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Again, thanks for being on. This is Brad A. Milford with the Unlimited Business Wisdom Podcast. We're business owners, and this is fun. Making 5, 6, all these things we hear, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 figures, right? But it's not all about the money. It's also about sharing their wisdom and creating global impact. It's about serving people. So thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Thank you.